Welcome back, new video, and in this video I'm going to break down a trade I took on GBP USD. It was the second trade I took on my 10k FTMO challenge. It's a challenge I do where I show you that with less than $100 you can scale up your capital up to 400k max allocation. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and if you got any questions during this video, during my breakdown, just hit the comment section and I'm happy to go over all of your questions. Good to know that this trade was obviously shared with my live trading community where I share all of my trades, all of my analysis, and I help you to become a profitable day trader. Alright, for now let's dive into the chart. So we're looking at the GBP USD chart here, and as always we're going to start on higher time frame to understand where price is, what price wants to do, where liquidity is, and what direction we want to trade in. So what we clearly can see is that our structure is stepping down bearish, creating a high and a low. This is the main 4-hour bearish range. Internal price action, however, is stepping up bullish. And the thing is that if we look closely into the chart, we can see every single time that price takes out liquidity, like it did over here. We have an example, takes out liquidity, moves up. Then it creates a resistance zone here, a resistance turned into support over here. And this is where the real 1 minute sauce happens. Honestly, this is good stuff. We also can see that we have a bullish trend line over here. And every time price comes into the trend line, especially the third touch of the trend line, is where heaps of buyers will enter on long positions. Now, the beauty of this is that the trend line is lining up with the support. This means double chance for price to liquidate those areas. And that makes this trade again another A+ setup. So understanding structure is the base of everything. But then we have to identify where liquidity is so we can understand where price wants to go. And it's pretty obvious that every time we take out lows, we move up. We take out lows, we move up, right? So now let's jump into the 15-minute price action, because this is where I really love to identify my liquidity areas. And we can clearly see, right? What do we have? Resistance. What do we have? Trend line. This is all liquidity to target, right? Then on the other hand, we had this nice little resistance turned into what? Support. Also happens to be the Asian low. That support is also lining up with this trend line. And these are the confirmations I'm looking for. This is what I want to see from the chart. Now, if we jump into the lower time frames, in this case the 5 minutes, now we can clearly see that when price came into that support, it gave a bullish reaction. This is what we call a so-called bull trap, right? Bull traders, traders that looking for longs, are trying to look for longs at certain POIs, demand areas, etc., etc. Now, after this trap, we got a very nice liquidation candle and we liquidated all of these traders that were searching for longs. But the moment we swept this area, what happens is we also broke bearish internal market structure. This will activate again more sellers into the market. And this is what I love to do. I like to go against the majority. I like to go against everyone else. Because if 90% of people lose money in this industry, well, the only thing we have to do is trade the other way around. And yes, it's that easy. Yes, trading takes time. We all know that. It's not an overnight success thing. But I will show you in a 1 minute how beautiful this trade played out, right? So 1 minute price action. We have ourselves a pretty nice bearish range. Price swept. And the moment I entered, honestly, was when price swept down. We came up into this area of interest. And for me, this is the trap, right? If I see a wick in and then price coming all the way down, I know sellers are getting heavily induced. And that moment is when I simply enter on the trade with a 10 pip stop loss in this case, a little protective below this low, because price needs a little bit of room. Sometimes it wants to do an extra sweep, who knows? And we want just to be safe. Well, price came down, nothing to worry about, and then slowly created a new trap. Trap got liquidated and price moved up. And look how clean. We have ourselves a very nice SMC trap. The moment we came into this 15-minute supply zone, or POI, or whatever you want to name it, I de-risked myself. The moment we swept these highs over here, I went to break even. And look what it did, right? Price comes into what? This area of interest. It taps in just perfect. What does it do? A bearish break of structure over here, creating what? A new and even stronger SMC trap over there. You can see price reacts with a bearish candle, inducing sellers. Everyone thinks the market will go down. What happens? And look at the power of the push. We push up, take everyone out, and the rest is history, and a 1-2 risk to reward was secured. This trade netted me $349-ish, so that's 4% on the 10K account. And it's a pretty easy trade. These trades occur 1, 2, 3 times a week on EU and GU. So pretty clean trade if you ask me. And obviously, like every other trade I take, I share it with my live community where I teach everything about the strategy and I mentor everyone to get to those same results as I have, which we can, have some good results and take some serious profits from these markets. All right, easy trade, easy going, within a few hours, full take profit hit and a full breakdown of how I look at liquidity. There's a nice little extra thing that I want to touch on, and that is, you can see how support and resistance get completely wrecked, honestly. What happens is price come into this resistance zone, bearish reaction is what inducing more and more sellers and then push out aggressively. What happens? Breakout traders enter on long positions over here. The moment we break out of this resistance, people enter on long. Break and retest traders enter on the long as well. When price breaks out, comes back in, gives another push. They were in profit, but then what happens? Takes them all out because where's the liquidity? And the rest is history. So we can clearly see that liquidity is everywhere. And this is what I teach in my course. This is what I teach with my mentorship. And honestly, when you see the stuff, you can't unsee it. And now trading becomes a hell of a lot easier. And it's going to help you to get to certain profitability levels in these markets. All right, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and if you got any questions whatsoever about my strategy, put them in the comment section and I'm happy to go over them. I'll see you into my next video. Cheers.